fucking things in there, fucking face holes. Are you recording?
I am recording now.
All right, cool. So sound check. Fuck, 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 fuck. All right, we're good.
Yoop.
Had to get that in there.
That's okay. I can trim this part out.
So who recalls kind of where we ended last time?
Last time we got all our
We were.
stuff. Oh, go on.
I was going to say we were at the park with the dog boys.
That's right.
Isn't that where we ended last session?
Yep. And we were
That's
getting
right.
ready to head back into town to try and find some survivors.
Yeah.
That's right. It was the night of the 23rd when you all arrived, right? So you got yourself a fitful night's sleep. It was the 24th when you woke up, so Christmas Eve. And you arise, you wake up in the morning, and the dog boys are doing their thing. They're kind of manning their posts, right? You got that message that popped up from Lieutenant General Collier, remember? Saying that Atlanta was in jeopardy. They were still holding, but they didn't know how long they could hold. Things like that. Um, Now, of course, before you head out, right? It's still dark. Nobody really knows well, you know the terrain, but nobody really knows what's going on in the world at this point in time. The entire night, there were weird storms that were coming through. There was strange phenomena occurring outside. I mean, Tomas, at one point in time, you swear you saw your abuela, her ghost or her spirit and energy, like standing outside of the window as you woke up, and just like flittered away. It's just very odd things have been occurring. Um, Kenny, your night was relatively calm. You didn't have anything like that. Of course, you did spend a little bit of time talking to Kane and Happy about what they had experienced, and Lucas. You've been kind of struggling with a kind of a migraine the entire night, but once again, fitful sleep, all three of you, and you wake up. The sun hasn't quite risen. The dog boys are milling about. They've scavenged what they can from the stores in the park. They're in the visitor center. It's mostly just junk food and snacks, some trail mix, maybe like some cowtails, maybe some Tico sticks or something like that. Some sodas, right? Not a lot to go around. One of them has stumbled upon the coffee mess and has made their best simulacra of coffee, and they're handing out their brown water to everybody, which of course you drink if you're a coffee drinker because it's coffee. Um, when you when you finally start to gather your wits about you after you've eaten your junk food and things like that. Um, it's still dark. The radio is kind of going. Are any of you gonna kind of man the radio or pay attention to any of the incoming broadcasts or anything like that?
Well, I think I have a pretty good. I'm going to be like not like sitting next to it the whole time, but I'm going to keep an ear on it, keep the channel playing in my helmet.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. One of the dog boys is kind of filtering through the radio stations as you go, because not everybody's going to be broadcasting on known NEMA lines. Um, and he seems to be doing a pretty good job. You hear things coming in describing the wave that washes over the East Coast, pretty much in depth. Um, uh, New York gone, Miami gone, Jacksonville gone. The Outer Banks are toast. Virginia Beach, Naval Station, Norfolk, total loss. All up and down the East Coast. Groton, Connecticut is gone. The sub base is missing. You know, so it really is. It really is surreal. You're almost not believing the reports that are coming in. And if it weren't for the fact that you yourself saw, a 20-foot demon horror from beyond the veil, rampaging through a town, you wouldn't believe the things that are coming out of Chicago and Detroit. It's unbelievable. Um, but but you're starting to kind of adjust to the world um, as best you can, and you hear something kind of pierce through Kenny. You hear Silver Eagle Squadron, and then the dog boy. He's like flipping through the channels, and he kind of skips a beat there.
Hey, go back real quick.
He fumbles with the switches. He's obviously not. He's just kind of turning dials. He doesn't really know much about radios.
Hold on a second here. Let me see that real quick. Excuse me. I'm gonna go over and mess with the dial. Try and get back to that station.
All right, just a quick radio basic.
Okay. Radio basic. 49 against a radio basic of 60. So yeah, that's success.
Yeah, you flip back to it. You may have missed a word or two, but you hear um, inbound, inbound hungry mother, inbound hungry mother.
Are they trying to get a hold of us, or are they saying that they're flying in?
Are you asking?
Yeah, I'm asking you because that should be something I should know, right? Like,
It would be if you didn't miss maybe a couple of words.
okay, so I'll get on the radio. Yeah, acting Captain Kenny here with Roscoe Unit 42. Inbound. We're at Hungry Mother now.
Roscoe Unit 42, this is Silver Eagle Squadron 7. We are inbound. We are inbound to Hungry Mother. Estimated time of arrival, 2 minutes. Silver Eagle Squadron, 2 minutes.
Okay. Be aware we do have friendly dog boys here. Repeat, friendly dog boys.
I'm sorry, Acting Captain Kenny. What was that? Friendly. I think there's communication error.
No, you heard right. Friendly dog boys.
Roger that. Silver Eagle Squadron 7 inbound. 1 minute, 45 seconds. And you start to hear the engines in real time. Blaring towards your way, and you've heard Silver Eagles before, so you know what's coming your way.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell. It was Kane, right? That was the head dog boy.
Yes.
I'm telling him, hey, look, we got soldiers coming in. I don't know how jumpy they're gonna be. You could probably imagine pretty jumpy. Let's get everybody on the same page so they don't get jumpy. We don't want them getting twitchy. Not in power armor.
Kane looks at you. He understands that soldiers, powerful, understand. Me tell dogs. And he kind of gathers up the dog boys. He relays to Happy and Dutch, which seem to be his kind of second and third in command, his left and right hands. And they make haste to start telling the other dog boys. It takes them maybe 30 seconds to assemble all of the dog boys and tell them what's going on. That pack mentality is really kind of working out for them for their organizational skills. Are you relaying the information to Kenny or to Tomas and Lucas?
Yep, I'm gonna let them know as well. Hey, we got we have a Silver Eagle unit coming in. I didn't ask how many, but they did say a unit, so let's get ready for it.
Yeah, a quick intelligence roll, military intelligence roll, would let you know exactly how many is in a squadron.
I don't know
if
I
anybody
have
wanted to
skill.
throw that.
I don't even know if I have that skill.
Which skill?
Military intelligence.
Intelligence.
Yeah,
I don't have it.
Yeah, I don't have that. I don't even have anything that looks related.
That's fair. But like I said, you're hearing the engines roar, and just as I'm assuming you're gonna step outside or take a look out a window to see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go outside and flash my headlamp.
Yeah, you see him kind of break the horizon. Anybody that's outside or looking through a window, you see him break the horizon, and they're just screaming in. You see the contrails up high, so I mean they can't be too terribly high. They're man-sized, so but you see them, breaking the sky as they're coming through, um, and all at once, the entire the entire like all 8 octaves of the sky just erupt into this swirling maelstrom of storm energy, and as the Silver Eagle Squadron is maybe 45 seconds out. I mean, they're hauling ass at speed, massive speed. Um, this giant eye. I mean, it's got to be the size of a football stadium. Not just the field, the entire freaking stadium just appears in the sky, and you see these like big tendrils of tornadoes just like start to whip down and lash out, and you see the squadron, and they start to like bark over the radio like, what is that? Engage, engage. And they start to just go to war with this eye in the sky, and with a malevolency, the tendrils, the tornadic tendrils, just lift up off the ground, defying all known atmospheric physics, and just suck one of the Silver Eagles up out of the 7 guys that are incoming. Just sucks them into him and throws out a chunk of metal, and lightning begins to just erupt all around it. That's just everything that could possibly come out of a storm is raging out of this thing right now, and you hear and feel like this earth shaking, like primordial scream that just shakes you to your bones. Everybody check horror factor against 14.
Nope, I gotta clear that.
Yeah, we didn't get any bonuses to save versus horror factor.
Do's it.
I failed as well.
It was a good roll for me.
Nope.
All right, so we got 2 fails and 1 success. So Lucas and Tomas, you're absolutely awestruck at this thing in the sky. Just you feel so insignificant next to it. Not that it really matters, because you're not taking action against this thing anyway. It's too far away. But within seconds, the Silver Eagle Squadron is wrapped up into these tornadoes and just obliterated in fiery balls of hellish lightning. Just the colors, the likes of which you've never seen before. And just as soon as the last member of the squadron, shrieks through the radio and lets you know that their demise is imminent, the skies return back to the way they once were, and this thing just dissipates as if it was never there. And the only thing to tell that it was crossing was the the way of the movement of the low hanging cumulus clouds. They're just instead of moving to the east, they've just started backtracking towards the west. And that's the only thing that lets you know that there was an entire battle that just took place in the sky above you and obliterated a squadron of some of the finest warriors of Nima.
So it was the eyeball against the full squadron, and the eyeball went away unscathed.
Completely unscathed, weapons blaring, tearing through essentially nothing but cloud cover.
Ugh.
Anybody else just see that happen?
Yep.
Yeah, there's about 10 of the dog boys that are out there, and they're just like mortified at what's going on. There's a few of them that have scattered and hid, um, but Kane is standing strong, and he's just growling low under his breath. What, Dad?
No idea.
This bad times we in. This real bad times.
Yeah.
Any word from City?
I think that was the word from City.
That's bad times. That's real bad times. Us need to check survivor, yeah?
I don't know how. Think it's a good idea to go in there? I mean, if that's what we have to look forward to.
You know, you go back, Marion. You go back, see who there. Us, us brave, us go check, us smell good, us know them, us find.
All right, let's go back, but let's stick together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so with that, um, Kane gathers up a group of dog boys, and he sends them off into the park to locate the fallen squadron. And he asks you, he's like, would you like to go into the forest, or would you like to return back to town and see if we can rescue anyone there?
What do you think, guys?
I don't know what's going to be left of the town. You seen what it was like getting out of there. Do you really want to go back in there? If there's people that need rescued here in the forest, we're here at the forest.
Start close.
That's just my 2 cents.
Start close. Do sweeps. Work our way out.
Yeah.
How's that sound, Kane? We'll start close. Do sweeps. Work our way back to town steadily.
Let's do that. Yeah.
All right.
And so you begin your search, right? You head off into the wilderness, and it's not long before you realize that this park, which you've all been to before. It's one of the few attractions around you. You've all been there before, and even in the dead of winter, even when the leaves have fallen from the trees, even when it's covered in snow, it still feels hospitable, right? It no longer feels that way. Every tree shadow has stretched just a little bit further. The snow is a little bit more hard packed. It's the sun is hiding from view. It's just not. It's just not conducive to to a happy time, right? You all begin to, as you start your search, of course, any type of tracking rolls or wilderness type of checks that you may have, go ahead and you can throw those out to kind of help color the story a little bit. Um, as you're wandering out through the wilderness, and using your targeted sweep to find the survivors of the Silver Eagle Squadron, um, it's you see things that like flit just out of view. It's not a bird, it's not a deer, it's not some form of wildlife. It's something else entirely. You get this kind of prickling feeling on the back of your neck. You get the hairs on your arms stand up, and this occurs just at random times. You do see a spot where the contrail, the smoke contrail, has kind of led you in a direction, and so that's where you begin your search. It takes maybe 30, 45 minutes of active searching before you're able to get close to one of the wrecked Silver Eagles. Um, even 200 feet away, it's pretty obvious that nothing inside that suit could have survived. Yeah. It's literally been crushed. This suit that's normally about eight 8.5 feet tall, 5 feet wide, has been reduced to a 3 by 3 hunk of metal. There's blood and ichor just kind of oozing out of it, and the only thing that lets you know that it was once a Silver Eagle power armor suit is the helmet, like the face plate. That's the only thing that lets you know.
I'll restart it.
All right.
Anyway. Continue. Sorry.
All right. And so with all of that, with all of the information that's been gathered, with the fight with the demon that's popped up from the ice, with the premonitions of what could happen in the future, and with what the things that could be that were in the past, um, you enter the building, and like I said, the dog boys are going about their business. Happy is pounding away with his little slobbery bulldog face at the back door, making sure that nothing can enter. He's got a plank of wood and a hammer and some nails. Just kind of into the thing, and he turns around and hey, welcome back. You find anything out there? The squadron?
They're not coming.
Flew overhead. Went too far away, didn't they? I knew it. You humans, you always misjudge distances. And with that, he goes and he turns and he goes to smack one of the nails in, and boom, he brings the hammer down on his thumb. And sucks it real quick. He's like, oh.
You were
He's a good
saying?
boy. I was saying Happy's a good boy and he doesn't deserve what just happened to him.
Can we relay the
Now,
information
since
about the demon and the ice fight to him? And tell him what we
yeah,
found?
go ahead.
That's what we found. We found a fucking demon that ripped its way out of the ice, and it took... Well, to be quite honest, it took us all by surprise. And it seems that most... how do you say, standard bullets didn't really do any damage to it. But our vibro axes, they do mega damage, and that's what we needed to use to take this thing down. So whenever you guys go out, just make sure you're going out together in pairs, armed, and be careful.
Happy kind of looks at you for just like the quickest of moments, and he says, we came into contact with something like that. Happy bit his toes off. Not an ice thing, like a wood thing. Never seen it before, but I bit his toes off.
Where did you find that at? From here, how far away?
Down by the pond. Happy don't play. Happy too fat to play.
Yeah.
Speaking of too fat, Happy found some eggs.
We'll save them. We can have them for dinner, breakfast tomorrow. We make it that far.
Yeah, that's
any word
good.
on anybody? Any word on the radio?
Happy thinks Dutch finds something on the radio. Dutch is he kind of leans into you a little bit, walks up a little bit closer, and whispers to you. Dutch is kind of an asshole. But he finds something on the radio. He keeps it very quiet to himself. Does he only tell Kane or Captain?
Then I guess we'll need to speak with Kane. We'll need to speak with Kane.
Oh, Captain behind you. Hey, Captain Kinney.
Yeah?
Any word on the radio?
Has there been?
Yes.
Yeah. Happy stops. He stops talking, and he lets you finish your statement.
No. I'm asking out of character. Has there been?
Well, some information is relayed between Lucas and yourself, and Happy. You all are kind of discussing it, and you find out relatively quickly that yeah, Dutch has found something on the radio, but he's not willing to tell anybody except for either Kane or the captain.
Okay.
And Happy addresses you as Captain Kinney.
So I'll relay all that back.
And I'm gonna give you a little nudge and say, I think you're the captain, maybe.
Great. So what am I supposed to do here? We got demons out there
Find
made of
Dutch.
ice.
You need to find Dutch, right?
Yeah.
Yep, Dutch is the one on the radio.
All
The
right.
Dutch is on the radio. Okay.
Yeah, he's the little German Shepherd asshole dog.
Okay. That's what's going. Okay. So, where is he? Where are you? Trying to hail him up over the radio.
Yeah, you come up over the walkie, hailing Dutch. He responds. He says, "In the radio room. What do you want? Stinking pink again."
What do we need him for again?
Just if there was any radio chatter while
Yep.
we were out in.
I'm asking if any. Yeah, that. Has there been any new chatter?
Yeah, it been a little bit. Got some news from the West Coast. West Coast gone. East Coast gone. Got some heard some things from Chicago that's not so good. Detroit real bad. Windsor real bad. Heard St. Louis on. St. Louis basically sucked into something else. St. Louis turned inside out. Not pretty. Heard something from Texas. They're not having a good time down there neither. Basically everything up to Houston sucked into the ocean. Yeah, local news. Marion's not having a good time. Something with Cybermind. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
On fire. That's what's wrong with
You know.
Cybermind. It's on fire.
You hear it shout. How you know that? Obviously, you forgot as you mumbled that the dogs have very acute hearing.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say nothing.
Mm.
I'll just try to cover my tracks a little bit, I guess. But then I'll thank him and say, no, it's on fire. It's on fucking fire.
All 3.5 feet of Dutch storms out. He looks you up and down, like your power armor and everything. He's in his little cobbled suit of bloodied Nema gear, and he's looking you up and down. He says, "You smell like a demon to me. I don't like you." And he starts getting real aggressive.
Well, you smell like a dog to me, and you're getting on my nerves. And I'll put my helmet back on, and I'll kind of just walk out and leave him behind me.
As you turn to walk out, a couple of the dog boys kind of like encircle you, and you kind of you almost feel the air, like the electricity in the air, start to change a little bit as the pack of dogs begins to kind of like circle around you as one of them is beginning to look at you as an outsider. Says, "I don't know where you think you're going, but Dutch ain't here for that."
I'm not worried about where you're going, Dutch, and what you're here for.
Dutch pulls out a
fucking
razor.
Roscoe team.
He pulls out
We're
a
here to
vibro
stand.
blade and he looks at you, and that vibro blade clicks on. And he says, "Somehow you know what's on fire and you wasn't on the radio." Sounds. And he sniffs, and it smells bad to me. And he kind of briefly levels eyes with Kane, and then he locks with Kenny for just a moment.
I'll stare back. I'm like, what?
He looks back at you and he's, "What?"
Yeah.
Your boy here, he's what? He's obviously he's enemy. You see him? He sniffs things in the air like we do, but he ain't one of us. He don't know. He's bad.
I've seen enough today to not want to start calling anybody I've known for that long an enemy.
Mm. Dutch relents a little bit and he kind of backs down. You see his hair start to, from the bristling position, it starts to kind of fade back into his normal pattern. And he says, "Yeah, Cybermind on fire. It's true. What of it?"
If you're talking to me, I don't. What of it? What of it? I seen in my head that it was on fire. That's how I knew it was on fire. Dutch.
Yeah, well, what do you want to do about it?
I don't. Off the top of my head, I don't really want to do anything about it. There's nothing in there overly special that's important to me. If we need to go there,
Yeah,
then we'll all go there. Do you need to
yeah,
go
that's.
there?
I don't need to go there. Not my people. My people
Not
are
my
all right
people
here.
either.
Not your people. Not your people. Yeah, that's what you say. That's what you say. You know who called this in? Nah, you don't know that. Name was Will. Said he was a 14-year-old boy. Yeah, not your people. You leave him to die. You leave him to die. Ink skin. And with that, he goes back into the radio room.
I guess I'll just kind of look over at Kane and say, "What's up with your buddy?"
Kane looks over and he's like, "Is Dutch. Dutch normal, friendly guy. Dutch good friend to man. Him lick cheeks. Dutch different these days."
I think we're all going to be a little bit different in these days coming up. So are
Dutch
we
say
going back
boy
to the
calls.
city, or what are we going to do? And I'll look at Tomas and Kenny.
Plan was to keep this place, form a perimeter, and sweep out, trying to find survivors. Unless you have a better idea.
I do not.
Look at the dogs and go, "You guys have a better idea than that?"
You see Happy. He's got his little his floppy ear kind of lifted up and he kind of drops it. He's like, "Well, you see, the way I see it, Dutch Dutch says there was a boy that called an emergency. Um, little people are okay. Little people never hurt us. You know, Dutch just a dog, and Happy just a dog too. And you guys, you guys are the real professionals. I
What kind
wouldn't
of
want to
dog
tell
is
you how
Happy
to do
again?
your job." Happy's an English bulldog, a little white and brown thing, about the size of a normal English bulldog. Just he walks on two legs, and he's looking at you, and he's like, "Happy hasn't seen any other humans around here. Just yous, and silver eagles, and they didn't land. Oh, it's very sad, but you know, Will, Will 14, Will's little. I don't know. Happy don't know what to do. Happy follows Kane. Yeah, Kane's smart. Kane's strong. Kane knows what to do.
And what kind of dog was Kane?
Kane is like a Rottweiler. So
Did the
what do you
boy
guys
give
decide that
an
you're gonna do?
address?
Um, the Happy Here Cybermind Company. And as soon as he says that, you know that there's the building. It's the Cybermind Corporation. It's well known. You know, it's as well known as the Canine Behavioral Institute in Marion. There's only a few major enterprises there, and only one multinational conglomerate that has headquartered its United States base in Marion, Virginia, and that is Cybermind.
Do we got a vehicle so we can
So
go
yeah,
to Marion to check out this emergency this boy called in?
I mean y'all
Yeah,
have a
well,
truck.
yeah, I'll have to get back in the fire truck.
Is that, do we got to go back through town to get there, or is this a different road going the other way?
No, you guys are going right back to where you came from, right back into the blue zone.
Okay. Hmm.
I mean, I already gave my idea, so I'm up to other interpretations. I'll roll with majority rule.
I feel like we're
Is-
being pulled back towards Cybermind.
Could you tell me again exactly what your idea was?
Use this place as a base, sweep outward, finding survivors as we can.
Yeah, that was our original plan.
Yep.
Do we have enough supplies here to take care of any injured or any refugees?
Supplies wise, that's definitely something you guys would have checked out last night. You have, basic first aid. You have, you have an AED station. But most of your supplies are on the truck. So whatever your truck has brought is the vast majority of what's at this place.
Yeah, like, we definitely
Now,
don't have enough.
Cybermind,
Yeah, we don't have enough
yeah,
to run a full
Cybermind,
camp.
yeah, definitely you don't. But Cybermind is known as, not only like a cybernetic research facility, but it's also an installation facility. So it is a surgical site. They have
Okay.
anesthesia and they have, I mean, it's a full surgical suite of, I mean, it's everything.
If nothing else, we could potentially save supplies.
If nothing else, you could potentially save supplies.
Okay.
Well, if that's our best chance to do good here, I think the Dog Boy pack should be able to, with their superb sense of smell, locate any survivors. We can give them signal flares or anything like that that they don't have here, so they can call each other for reinforcements. And I think the three of us, and if any of these dog boys want to volunteer, we go back into the city and rescue supplies and what we can before shit hits the fan and the building burns down. And I don't know how I know that. I just see it in my head.
Is that the group consensus?
Sure. Works for me.
All right. So three dog boys load up with you, including Happy. It's Happy, Mod, and Low, and those are the three dog boys that are coming with you. Mod is like a little um, like a little Yorkie that's grown to vast sizes. Mod is about 6.5 feet tall. And then you have Low. And Low is a retriever who's about 4 feet tall. I'm writing all these down as I go. And all of them, all of the dog boys that are coming with you, they're coming with you because they speak very, very solid English. Now, one of the things that's going to happen here is any of the equipment that is not considered necessary, so, signal flares, anything like that that you may have on your seat are going to be surrendered to the base. Of course, all of your military equipment, weapons, armor, medical gear, things like that, you're going to keep with you. Okay. Unless there's something on your sheet that you're like, hey, yeah, I definitely want to keep. So go ahead and take one quick minute and take a look at your character sheet and make sure that you know what equipment is staying and what equipment is coming with you.
What
I'm
kind of
keeping
dog
a-
was Low again?
Keeping the laser torch.
Low is he's a retriever, a golden retriever.
I'm keeping most of my gear. Like they can have the flares and the smoke grenades, but I'm keeping my climbing gear. Keeping my torch, first aid kit, my nanobot medical system, drug dispenser. I'll give up my hygiene products, but yeah, I'm keeping the vast majority of my stuff.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel the majority of everything is
All right.
like
I think
stuff that you would fit in your backpack as a
Ye-
firefighter.
Yeah, like I think everything on the rig is totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I
And
mean, if you're
Tomas?
specifically talking about like hand-to-hand things, I'm going to make it a point to say I have my Norl chucks and my
Hey, there he
rifle,
is.
my vibro axe.
All right, and Tomas?
Uh, I am gonna drop my dress uniform, my personal hygiene products. I'm gonna keep the basic medical gear. I'll keep the smoke grenades and the flares. I'll keep the large paramedics medical kit, utility belt, canteen that's full of water, air filter and gas mask, walkie-talkie, all
So kind of the same deal. Like you're just dropping
yeah,
non-essentials.
yeah, non-essentials basically.
But you're making
But
a point to keep your
in
flares and your smoke grenades.
yeah, I'm keeping the flares and the smoke grenades, and if I can, I'll pick up their smoke grenades and carry those as well.
I mean, you could, but it
If they're
depends on if
dropping them,
they're,
I'm gonna yeah. If they're dropping it, I'm gonna pick up the. I'm gonna say I was like, I'll take the smoke grenades. If you guys don't want them, I'll carry those.
I was thinking leave some for the base here though, just in case they need them. Leave them a couple, please.
Pretty sure there's some inside, but if they don't have
there's
any
none
inside,
inside. There wouldn't be any inside. This is like a civilian encampment. I mean, these guys are working on scavenged gear.
sure, I'll leave the smoke grenades for them. I'll just keep mine then.
All right. All right. And so with that, you all load up all your gear, get in your equipment, um, head out in the truck. Who's driving?
Not I. My driving
Can
skills
we
are not the
drive
greatest.
in the power armor or no?
I mean, who's driving the truck?
I'll drive the truck. I drove it last time because I was not wearing power armor. I did.
Okay.
Out of the three of us, I was the only one that was in regular body armor.
All right, so who is doffing their power armor and driving the truck?
These guys can both stay in their power armor. I'll drive the
All
truck.
right. All right, Lucas is manning the vehicle. Everybody else loads up along with Happy and Low and Mod, and you guys head off towards town. Go ahead, Lucas, and throw me a pilot truck roll.
This is on a 74.
Yep. By the time you all end up leaving, it's about 3 o'clock. All right, and your trip into town is mostly uneventful, right? Other than the fact that guys above you are turning and switching and changing around at every given second. The winds whip through unrelentingly. When you reach the border of Marion, it's back into the blue zone. Roll again for your pilot check. And the the havoc that's being unleashed inside the blue zone doesn't really affect a vehicle of your size, right? You're able to maneuver and go as deftly as you have been the entire way. You do not see that strange creature from what you left of the town, right? It's um, the city was mostly intact. It's been rumbled and crumbled and just devastated. Um, Somebody make a radio basic roll because I'm assuming somebody is keeping tabs on what's going on, incoming transmission from Marion, anything like that.
I can do that.
All right, so both of you, I think both of you succeed. I'm not
Yes.
100% sure,
Yes.
but yeah, both of you succeed. Now, Tomas, you're listening in, and you hear the things coming from Cybermind, right? It doesn't sound like it's a good situation. There's people that have evacuated to. You hear this over an emergency channel. People that have evacuated to the Cybermind facility, and then you hear that Cybermind has been compromised. Tomas. Um, Kenny, as you're flipping through the stations, as you're flipping through the radio, you're hearing things from abroad. That it's the 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 northern sections of the NEMA alliance have been completely castrated, essentially, by things that could only be described as demons. And you're in the understanding that um, there's no backup coming. That's basically what you get from all of it. Um, from the Marion end of the world, from what's coming on, what you pick up from Marion, Virginia, is that the town is lost. Anyone that is anywhere has evacuated to the Cybermind Corporation. Um, it's it's the last kind of remaining bastion of any type of semblance of order. Um, it's it's not Marion is no longer conducive to civilization, is what you're picking up. But as you scroll through as you stroll through the streets in your truck, you're hearing screams here and cries of despair there. But you keep pressing forward towards the town center. Um, you catch out of the corner of your eye flash of a laser bolt, and then another and another and another. Um, what are you doing with these?
Did you say we're ambushed or we're just noticing these?
You just notice.
Well, I'm going to use my optics to see if I can zoom in a little bit better.
You zoom in and you see somebody, and he's wearing, kind of like regular like uh, NEMA police officer type of uniform, right? A peacekeeper, and you see these like six beings. They have this skin that looks like massive scabs all over their body. They're kind of hunched over. They've got like like spikes uh, protruding from their arms. One of them is, holding his fists up, like he's just absorbing laser fire with these, and he just like throws his fist down and screams at the peacekeeper who's blasting at him.
I think we should help him.
You said peacekeeper. Is that like a police officer or?
Essentially, yeah, NEMA police officer.
And he's in power armor or is he in just body armor?
He's in regular like NEMA body armor. Um,
And how
you know,
badly damaged is he?
do you have armor, field armor, or anything like that?
You got field surgery.
Yeah, that's not going to be it.
Okay. And I have no idea how badly damaged he is.
All right, Kenny, Lucas.
Like,
How far away are we from this thing in the truck? Like I'm kind of
Uh,
like easing my foot off of the gas, so we're slowing down a little bit.
Kenny, what do you command?
I'm saying I said we should go help him.
All right, make a pilot check, Lucas.
Can I take aim with my sniper rifle? Maybe get a couple
With
shots
that
before.
piloting, with that piloting check, yeah, you can definitely take aim with your sniper rifle.
Okay.
Lucas slams on the brakes for the hover truck. It, kind of screeches around, turns. You're able to open up the side door, Tomas, aim your rifle. You see these kind of reddish skinned. I mean, they really do kind of look demonic. This kind of those like same yellow eyes and everything. Make a quick horror factor roll, Tomas. Just basic difficulty of like 9.
My the dice went away. I gotta reload the boundary. There they are. Okay. Oh my
Yeah,
god, how can I keep on failing these fucking things?
it's an alien looking creature, um, and it looks at you. You're just kind of you have it in your scope, right? Like you're looking dead at it. And your scope like goes from one to the other to the other to the other to the other. I mean, there's 6 of them, and you have them all in line just for the briefest of moments. Panic kind of hits you. They're not human. They're human shaped, human sized, but just different. Um, the vehicle skids to a halt. Lucas, you are, in your regular armor, not power armor. Power armor is not a good idea to use when you're driving this. So if you want to switch out, it would take some time. But if you want to stay in your standard armor, that's fine. Kenny, you're able to act immediately. You see this kind of Nema peace officer, and he's blasting away with his laser rifle in this small alley. And there's these six brownish, reddish skinned humanoids kind of looking at him, just like shouting and screaming and, getting ready to attack, it looks like.
That ain't good. So I'm gonna belt out over my loudspeaker. Hey, backups here.
The peace officer, he cracks in and he's, thank God, help, help, help.
Yep.
They're coming from everywhere.
Can I
And he just
fire?
lets loose with his laser rifle. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I'm gonna fire with my plasma rifle. Yeah, that's a hit. And that plasma rifle, the hot seat is 66. $28 to one of them. Just a big old blast of plasma.
All right, you unleash your plasma right at the same time as the peace officer releases his laser. You both just like you slice through, or he slices through one. Your plasma bolt goes through the other one and just obliterates it. I mean, it's like its legs are still standing, but its body is gone. And the other four, launch at the peace officer. Everybody roll a quick initiative. I'm gonna roll a group initiative here.
My dice hate me.
Everybody goes before the creatures. So who's first is uh Kenny.
All right.
There's four more. Oh, wait, let me roll once for the peace officer.
Oh God. God, do I make it above? I do have laser targeting. I know that. +1 to strike. I'm gonna say, God, it feels like I should have more than a +1 to strike.
Yeah,
I have a PP.
yeah,
My
that
PP is
works.
only
You
13.
hit.
Do I?
PP doesn't count for ranged attack, but yeah, whatever. You hit.
No, I don't. Rolled a 2.
Oh, so your plasma strike goes wide.
Yep.
Boom! You cut a hole right in the side of the building. The peace officer, he releases his energy weapon, and it's a hit, and just cuts down one of the creatures in the alley. Just slices them right in half. Goes through the side of a building. Next up is Lucas.
Um, Lucas is going to open the door of the truck and grab his rifle and use my action to take aim on the closest grouping of demons.
All right, so Lucas opens up. He slides the vehicle to a halt, slaps the door open as fast as he can, grabs up his rifle, and begins to take aim. And at that point, Tomas, make your attack or make your action.
And I have the aim bonus.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Woohoo!
a hit. Roll damage.
And
Yeah, evaporated. The creature just explodes into this mist of blood and gore and ichor, and the others in the grouping, they begin to run off as the dog boys open fire with their own weapons. Most of them submachine guns and things like that. They just start to cut them down, dropping them from the back. Right? They're falling over themselves, covered in blood, and just it's not pretty. You all eviscerate this grouping of creatures that have appeared. The peace officer rushes towards the vehicle. And he's, oh my God, thank you so much. I didn't know what to do. They were digging around outside of the apartment, and I saw him, and I was alone, and then I opened fire. I told them to stop, and they attacked, and I shot, and they're just, I don't, what is happening? What is happening?
None of
And
us
he
know.
begins to weep at his loneliness.
None of us know. Get up on the rig. Let's go. Get him
He
loaded.
Did we?
he crawls up and he says, all right, Lieutenant. Yeah.
So we're taking him with us?
Yeah, we're not going to leave him out here alone.
No, I was just wondering if we could tell him to head
over to-
to our base so they can, and then maybe grab supplies along the way
In his
or
condition,
whatever.
I don't think that's a great
I don't know.
idea.
Does he need help healing?
I mean, he's kind of in a
Uh,
bad mental state, right?
I mean that would be that's an astute observation. Yes, it's definitely not incorrect to think that someone would be in a bad mental state.
Yeah, like he's not all that stable right now.
Fair.
And as he gets on the vehicle, he takes a look around and he sees Maud and Happy and Low, and suddenly that hand of his reaches down for his sidearm and he whips it forward, points it directly at Happy's face, and he says, "Devil!" And you hear the hammer kind of click back as he activates the laser.
I stop him.
How do you stop him?
I put my. Well, let's see. I'm in power armor. I put my hand in front of his gun. Because I'm assuming it's an SDC weapon. Unless I can
Your
tell what kind of
assumption.
weapon it is. Yeah, but because I don't have recognized weapon quality or
Well,
any military training, because I'm shit-tastic.
if you do have a weapon proficiency, you do have recognized weapon quality.
Well, yeah. Well, I got WP sword, battle axe, energy rifle. WP knife. That's it. So, is it an energy rifle? If it's not, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it is a pistol. And you put your hand directly in front of it.
Mhm.
And you take 13 damage to your hand as he unleashes with his mega damage laser pistol. It basically evaporates the armor around the center point, the center portion of your hand. You're not crippled, but take 13 points of mega damage to the main body.
That's not even remotely close to anything big.
Hmm?
That's not a lot of damage.
No, it's not, but it's still 13 mega damage. Go ahead and remove 13 mega damage from your armor. And he just unleashes with it. Wow. And he's just screaming, devil, dog, devil. And he just starts unloading inside the vehicle, like as your hand goes in front of it. And until either A, someone stops him, or B, his 12 rounds are unloaded.
I'm gonna. Oh God, I don't want to knock him out.
Someone stop that fool!
Yeah, I'm gonna grab him by the shoulder and like kind of slam him down in the chair and tell him to
All right,
knock
make a
that
roll to
shit off.
strike.
Make and roll to strike. Come on, be better than a 2. Be better than a 2. Hey, 15. That's way better than a 2.
Yeah, you latch onto him with your power armor. You stop him. You know, he unloads a few rounds, right? Blasts up a little bit of first aid. Not not anything, you know, critical or catastrophic to the vehicle. But he's definitely he's subdued at this point in time. And Lucas guns the vehicle back into action and begins to head towards the Cybermind facility. And when you get there, at the beginning of Cybermind, it's it's an 8-story building, and everything, Lucas, that you saw in your vision is accurate. It's completely engulfed in flames. It's about, you know, 4 o'clock in the afternoon or so, and it's the fire is rising high. From when you initially received the report, or your clairvoyant message, and when Dutch responded to you about what was going on there, this building should have come down around itself, but it hasn't. And it looks almost like a strategic fire has been put in place to keep the thing burning, right? And then the radio kicks in. You hear someone like, I see you. I see you. I see you. We're on the 6th floor. We're on the 6th floor. I see you down there. Please save us.
Are we able? Fuck. Will the truck ladder reach to the 6th floor?
So
Assuming there is a ladder on the truck.
unfortunately, this is not a ladder truck.
Okay.
This is an ingress egress vehicle.
Well, I'm going to grab my gear and I guess I'm going to exit and make my way to the front door and rescue these people. That's what firefighters do.
So the people are on the 6th floor, the building's on fire, and we're in our armor so we can get up there.
Yep.
Agreed.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. As you exit the vehicle, fully donned your power armor, the heads-up display, your visuals let you know that, hey, this is an 800 degrees centigrade. This is an 800 degree centigrade fire that you're walking into. Suit damage is likely.
Hmm. Gotta
Well,
do
we
it.
take 10% less in our armor.
Yeah.
You do.
Mhm.
Yeah. From mega damage, fire, and heat.
So, with that being said, any reservations running into a burning building, Roscoe's?
No, I got none. That's what we trained for.
No. Yep.
All
Well,
right.
My only
so-
question is this, and I hate to interrupt, but technically, last game, I never specifically mentioned anything about getting in or grabbing my heavy mega damage armor. All I ever grabbed and suited up in was my regular Nema body armor.
Hmm.
So how are we going to say that I have my mega damage or I don't? Because we
If you
kind of
didn't,
busted out of there in a hurry last week and I never got into it and I never loaded it up because I was focused on driving the truck.
did anybody grab his power armor?
I'm pretty sure I loaded as much stuff as I could into the truck before we got out.
All right, there is a 1 in 6 chance you grabbed his power armor.
Yeah, like I threw it everything that we can get my hands on into that rig.
All right, and Tomas, did you load his power armor?
I was struggling to get my own shit, so no.
All
Okay.
right, so 1 in 12 chance that you did it.
I'm not rolling that.
Tomas, 1 in 12. And Lucas, 1 in 20 for you.
Ooh, if I got to roll a nat one on a D100, that's nuts.
No, it's a D12. Just waiting on you, Tomas.
What do I got to roll?
Well, a D12, you're looking for a 1.
D12. Boom.
You do not have power armor, Lucas.
Okay.
All right, so you all go to bust in the front door. Everybody, from the very first round of getting into that door, let me clear this out. You all sustain 1 point of mega damage, busting through the fire. Pick the door in on the first floor, and it just like in your vision, Lucas. Everything except for like structural points of the building is burning. There's some holes here and there in the floor above you, but for the most part, it's like a superficial fire almost. Um, anyone else who is not a psychic, you could throw any type of like fire skills that you may have to see if you can understand any of the patterns going on in this room.
Yeah, I got that. We all got that.
You all got that.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna look up my skill for it.
A
Should be
fire damage assessment.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Okay.
Yep. Negatory.
That would be a negative.
All right, yeah, so y'all aren't really seeing the patterns in this room. Lucas, you can roll the same thing, but you're pretty well aware that like the structural points of the building aren't on fire. But other than that, you don't really know. Like you can't really see anything special about the way that the fire is moving or anything like that. Um, but you're on the first floor. You bust in. Quickly you're able to make an assessment as to where the second floor goes up, and you see it. There's you can either take the elevator or the stairwell. The elevator is most likely out of order, but nobody's checked.
Like I wouldn't want to take the elevator in this situation.
No, but I wouldn't be opposed to climbing up the ladder inside the elevator shaft to get up to the 6th floor quicker.
Depends on where that car
That's a-
is.
How are you
Oh,
going to
that's true,
fit
yeah.
through the emergency hatch on the actual elevator?
He's not in power armor.
Oh, he's not in power armor. Ah,
That's what I was thinking. That,
gotcha.
although
Well, that
most likely
metal
it's
might be, it might be hot.
He's still in mega damage armor.
right.
It's true.
Tomas, what are you thinking?
Are the stairs anywhere close? Like signs for the stairs?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see where the stairs are.
Then I would head straight to the stairs. Fuck the elevator. But I would
All
keep
right.
my
So,
head on a swivel, double checking, making sure there's no one on these other floors that need rescuing either.
all right, fair
Proceed
enough.
with caution.
So who else is proceeding with caution?
Oh, always.
All right.
I'm
So
going to
as
at
you
least hit. Good. I was going to say I'm just
No,
going
go
to
ahead.
at least hit the. I'm going to at least hit the down button on the elevator. That way, regardless, it's at least going to be on the main floor.
All right, you hit the down button on the elevator. It does not make any type of function whatsoever. Tomas, you begin to kind of crack open the doors of the first floor to see if there's anybody in this facility. Kenny, same thing. Like the building is burning, and you're looking around. Everybody, you are going to roll the dice. You're going
I
to
do bring
sustain.
my vibro fire axe.
That's fine. You're all sustaining 11 points of mega damage just for kind of the searching, except for Lucas. You're going directly to the elevator and beginning to climb up. You are going to take, just for being inside the fire, everybody remember to reduce by 10%. You're taking 6 points of mega damage just for the initial entry and making your way to the elevator shaft. And so 11 points minus 10% to the
The
two being cautious, working their way up, which is Kenny and Tomas,
So that's
and
what,
6
1
points of
point?
mega damage.
6 points?
that's 1
Uh,
point.
reduced by 10%.
Yep. So it's you take 10 instead of 11.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't
Or
I do that?
9, whatever.
And I take 6.
You take
Correct.
6.
Okay.
All right. So you make it to the elevator shaft. You're going to climb up to the 6th floor, right?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and give me 6 climbing rolls. All right. Kenny and Tomas, you all are making your way up the elevator, or the stairwell, right?
Yes.
Are you stopping at each floor, or are you just proceeding up to the 6th?
I kind of want to stop at each floor and just give a quick shout out.
Stop there. Stop there, Lucas. Keep going. I wanted Lucas to stop. I wanted everybody else to keep going.
What rolls? What rolls was I supposed to be making?
You're not right
Oh,
now.
okay.
I want you to go ahead and so you're proceeding upwards through the shaft, right?
Yeah, and I'm. Oh, him.
Or no.
Yes.
Sorry, you're proceeding upwards through the stairwell.
Yes.
Okay. So you stop at the first floor. There's nobody's responding. But each floor you stop at, go ahead and so for the first floor, you take 4 minus 10%, and the second, well, I guess it would be floor number 3. You sustain another points of damage coming up through the stairwell because the stairwell is like living fire coming up, and if you have any type of fire related skills, you could make those checks to see what's going on here.
All right, I'll throw a check, and I get nothing.
Nothing. Anybody else throwing those checks?
Which check is that?
Fire.
Um,
The fire
any
related
of the
ones.
fire related skills?
Oh, the fire related skills. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll try. Nope.
Right. So on the first floor, the second floor, you guys don't detect anything. You're just, burning as you go, but your suits are built to withstand these things. Um, Now, the first 2 floors of the climb up, Lucas, you're able to, you make the first floor in record time. The second floor, you're still climbing and climbing and climbing. Once you reach to the third floor, it's almost as if fire becomes a living, breathing thing, and it erupts into the shaft that you're in, and begins to try to consume anything in there. Go ahead and take another 5 points of mega damage to the armor as your body begins to feel that exorbitant amount of heat emanating from within the building itself. So everybody, you're on the third floor. Let's keep cruising up higher if you want to, or you can give up.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep rolling. I want to put the pedal to the metal, at least try to get a pep in my step too. Oh, just
Make one of those fire skill checks that you have.
24 will make
So,
either one of those checks.
so you see the fire like suck into the building, right? Like as you pass that entrance to that floor, it like sucks into the building almost as if it was alive. And then like one floor above you as you're going, like your hand begins to flip on the top rung of the elevator shaft, and right where your hand was just about to be, this superheated gout of flame comes out, and it just evaporates that handhold you were about to grab, and then it's stuck back in, almost like the fire were a living, breathing thing. Uh, Continue up. So you failed that one to your fourth floor. Um, Penny and Tomas, up one more floor you go.
That is a very
Nice.
good success.
Kenny, you experienced nearly the exact same thing that Lucas just saw. It's like the fire erupts in front of you and pulls itself back right before you were supposed to reach that next level. It just ruptures the door to the fourth floor, and you see the fire like back down the hallway in the Cybermind facility.
Do
Notice
I
that
have any idea why it would do that?
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like you've heard of backdrafts, and you've heard of fire moving through ventilation systems and this, that, and the other, and being pulled in other directions, but not like this. It's almost like the fire is a living thing, like a very angry living thing. Now, Tomas, you you see um,
I made my
the way
check
it
too.
does. Yeah, I know. You see the fire back off the way that that Kenny saw it as well, but you see it moving around uh, the cybernetic prototypes and things like that. You see it moving around those very much uh, fluidly, so like it's not trying to. It's almost like the fire's not trying to touch things. Who's like strapped down to a gurney, and like they just erupt this blazing flame, and they stand up and look at you, one like cybernetic claw dripping down their arm, and they charge headlong at the two of you in the stairwell. Initiative.
Everybody?
Just the two of you in a stairwell.
12.
I got a 1. And Tomas. Did we lose Tomas?
What are we rolling?
Initiative.
Ah. Yay, 4.
All right. So, Kenny first, Tomas second, uh, flaming cybernetic demon creature third.
Axe to face. That's going to be with +1 to strike. That'll hit.
That is a hit. It rushes towards you. Its hands are up in the air. The cybernetic claws getting ready to strike down, and your axe brings it down, and you cut directly through it, slicing this this human directly in two. Just one side flies to the northern half of the room, the other side flies to the southern half of the room. The cybernetic claw lays twitching in the middle of the floor, skittering and skittering and skittering, and you see like this energy, this flame energy from the eyes and ears and nose and anus and everywhere, just kind of like meet in the central area and flow back into the main fire. Let's go to floor number 5, shall we?
All right.
Let's go ahead to Lucas. Make your skill check to climb.
Oh.
All right. That'll take me to the 5th floor.
All right, floor number 5.
And to the 6th floor.
All right, so you make it to the 5th floor, as do your compatriots. They're struggling to get up each and every floor, as are you. When you reach the 5th floor, there's this gout of flame that covers from floor 5 to 6 in the elevator shaft, and also in the stairwell. It's just burning everything around you. It essentially forces you without I mean, you could continue higher if you so chose, but the force of the flames, it goes from 800 degrees centigrade to 4600 degrees centigrade, like directly above you. You see the heads up display just like flickering. Your thermal vision is completely skewed as you're raising higher and higher. That the 6th floor is essentially impenetrable through either one of your routes, through either the stairs or through the elevator shaft.
I will exit the elevator shaft on the 5th floor. And if do we is there like intercoms? Do we have a way to communicate with each other with our gear?
Walkie
Absolutely,
talkie.
Yeah, then I'm gonna
absolutely.
radio
You
to
have no
those
fit.
guys coming in. I would radio to them. You know, the 6th floor. There's no way we're getting up there. We got to get out on the 5th. I'm thinking maybe chop some holes in the floor over by a window or something. We can get these people down through the floor and then out.
All right,
But I'm coming to you on
radio
the 5th floor.
radio basic for all three of you. One success is all we need, and then we're gonna take a 2-minute break because I have to use the restroom, and we'll be right back.
Negative on that radio basic.
I made mine.
All right, that's all we need. I'll be right back. Sure. Like check.
Pull out the high
I'm here.
end.
All right, so we're waiting on Tomas.
I'm here.
All right, there we go. Everybody's in. So begins the end. So you hear Lucas crackle over the radio. Hey, exiting on the 5th floor. Lucas, what is your exact message?
It's too fucking hot. I'm coming to you guys. I can't get up to the 6th floor. This fire, I've never seen anything like it. I don't know what it's like on your end. It has a mind of its own. My best suggestion is we try to blast through the floor and get up to the 6th floor through the ceiling. But I'm coming to you.
You all hear this crackle over the intercom or over the comm system in your suits. How do you react?
I'll respond back affirmative and get ready.
And Tomas,
Roger, Roger.
All right, and you see him. He's coming through in his red and yellow suit. His faceplate is like blazing in flames, and he's coming towards you. He's halfway through the fifth floor. Then you guys are like kind of coming out of the stairwell. Totally in agreement that the floor is way too hot because everybody's thermals kicked in. That it was just white hot, blinding heat. Your thermals were not meant to um, compensate for something like that. And you begin to exit the stairwell, and you see him, like I said, rushing towards you, about 100 feet away. It's not a super large building, but it's big enough. You come within about 20 feet of each other. You're still on the fifth floor. You hear that kind of chirping sound through the backup channel. It's that kid on the fifth floor, and you can't understand a single word he's saying, but it's the flames are getting worse.
All right, well, what's the plan here, guys?
Through your enhanced audio, you hear the screams of people, a floor above you being engulfed and burned alive.
Do we go up or do we pop the floor?
We can't get up.
So we got to pop the floor.
We have to. We have to.
All right. Does my power armor have like a loudspeaker, like a boom speaker, like megaphone?
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna use it to tell them make some noise on the floor and all bunch up. We're taking the floor out. You're gonna fall.
Through the enhanced audio, you hear them making their noises about 20 feet to your right.
Okay.
So yeah, like directly above you, you can smash that floor.
Let's do that.
Yep. Pull
All right,
out
you
our
both-
laser. I'm gonna just pull out a laser tool and just turn it on and just.
Yeah, we got the I got my laser cutter too.
Yeah.
Specifically, didn't get rid of it for a reason like this.
Yep.
Do all three of you have your laser tool?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you crank your laser tools up. You're able to cut through that in 3 seconds. Like it doesn't take you any time whatsoever to cut through the flooring of this building. That while the exterior and obviously the support columns are a megacrete material, the center columns are not, or the central areas are not. So I mean it's basically just regular concrete and rebar, and you just slice through it like butter. As you're cutting through it, the one roll that I hate to have everybody roll perception.
Ew. Hey, it's actually not a terrible roll. 16.
All right, so as you're cutting through the flooring, Kenny, your gaze is kind of drawn off in a direction. Moreover, Lucas, make a save for psychic attack. But your gaze is kind of drawn over to something in the fifth floor. Is that a success or a failure?
That is a success.
All right. So once again, you're able to snap that back, but the sense of evil permeates your body. Kenny,
Mm-hmm.
as you're finishing your cut, you see this on this fifth floor with you, this thing. Now the floors stand about 20 feet from top to bottom. They're huge. So this is like the equivalent of a 16-story building, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this thing takes up the bottom 3/4 of the fifth floor. It's huge. It's yellow. It has these markings all over it. These massive spines jut up from its back. These ram horns, like kind of like streak back from its head, and it's looking at you with these two giant chunks of megacrete in its hands, and it looks and just stares dead into your soul. Make a save versus horror factor. Um, Lucas also make a save versus horror factor, even though you're not seeing it. The difficulty is 14.
Yep, missed
Um,
by 1.
Fail.
missed by a bunch, and it's just this horrific thing. But you see it, Kenny. Lucas, you do not. Um, did you roll perception, Tomas?
I did.
And you failed.
Or do I roll it again?
No, did you fail?
I roll a 5.
Yeah, you failed. Yeah, you don't see the thing. You finish the cut and you're able to go up through to the 6th floor if you would like.
Okay. I'll help
All
the
right.
people.
So, all right, Tomas, you use your augmented strength and you power up through it with a leap. You see 4 people that are up there. One is the boy, probably anywhere from 13 to 16 years of age. Um, One is a doctor, with the obvious lab coat and everything. You see a couple of people who are just average everyday citizens and civilians, and on top of that, you see your prima, your cousin, and she's over there, and she's like, I couldn't get everybody out. I don't know. I don't know. She's mortified as to what has happened. Now, my 2 gentlemen on the 5th floor who have failed their horror factor checks. Who wants high? Who wants low?
I'll take high.
Take high. Gotcha. High it is. All right. The creature, this massive entity, charges forward at you with its horns bared down, and God dang it.
I
Go.
think we
Come
lost
on, there
him.
it is.
Oh,
No, no, no. You didn't lose me. I'm trying to figure out the dice roller. With a natural 1, it charges at you and crashes directly into the beam directly beside you. The beam shatters into a million pieces. Tomas, above you, or below you, Tomas, I need you to make a roll to save or fall or impact, or to save or to keep your balance. If you have a sense of balance, roll that. If not, you need a 15 or higher to save. Tomas.
Okay. +2.
That's safe. So directly underneath you, you feel the column shatter and collapse, but you're able to leap out of the way. You bust a hole into the floor of the 6th floor, down to the 5th, and the people are able to begin their descent if they can all follow a brave and powerful leader on their way down. Um, Now let's go ahead. Let's roll for initiative.
Everybody?
Everybody. And just tell me what your rolls are.
5.
13.
Four. I told you the dice fucking hate me. I'm surprised I rolled a 15.
The dice do hate you. All right. So first up is the creature. It lashes out. It has this whip-like tongue that comes flying out at you. It's completely and totally engulfed in flames, Kenny.
Okay. What do you need me to do?
Hold on, it's rolling. It lashes out with a 21 to strike.
Parry?
Go for it.
Nope. Valiant effort, though.
Valiant effort though it is, the creature's tongue lashes out at you. It catches you with its flaming with a flaming whip of a tongue. Wraps around you. You sustain a grand total of 12 points of mega damage as your body is wrapped up in this burning, almost proboscis-like appendage of a creature. Next up is Lucas.
Kenny! And I'm going to roll to strike to cut this tongue off of him.
Roll to strike. You swing your axe down with a force that would just shatter any wall, and it brings one of these concrete blocks that's in its hand up and smashes your axe to the side. In any given situation, that block would have shattered, but your axe is instead turned away like a child's rattle. Next up, we have Kenny.
All right. Vibro axe to the face. Negative.
You swing your axe, you're so tangled up in this tongue thing that it's a wild fling. It's way off. Tomas, what are you doing? You have no idea what your compatriots are going through. One floor below you.
Yep. I'm assessing the situation. I'm looking around the room. I think the utility belt that I'm wearing has like a rope in it that I can use, or like a line that can hold weight that I can
Sure.
use to have these people go down off of that. I will use it like a repelling, not a like a repelling line, but have them put the like a piece of clothing or a belt or a rope or something over the line and just like glide down the line to the floor beneath me.
All right, make a spelunking roll.
Okay. Made it.
All right, you're able to start getting the people down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the people begin to make their way down. They make it onto the floor below you. The creature down there to lash out at one of the people who has just been released or who has just made it down to the fifth floor. Wraps around it, and it is completely turned to ash. As the as they come down the uh the rope that you have made. Now, Kenny, being tangled up, you go ahead and you just take 16 points of mega damage, being wrapped up in this flame tongue, as the creature begins to obliterate the things next to you with a gout of flame. So Kenny and Lucas, you see one of the people who has made their way down through the hole that Tomas has just created.
Do I
You
see
see the
this?
yeah, you see a gout of flame um, come through and just birth one of these people into nothingness. Now,
Like, it's
uh,
like they were on the line, or did they
yeah, they were
land?
they were on the line about to touch the bottom, and they were just incinerated.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I would tell them.
Now,
I would scream at them, "Run!" So they're not
the
just
people
sticking
who just
around there
dropped,
waiting.
yeah, they they
That's
they immediately take off
stairs.
towards the stairs. Exactly. Now, Lucas and Kenny, you see these people. They start to drop down. One, two, three, four. The fifth one on its way down. The creature turns its ugly head towards it and releases a gout of flame from its mouth and bursts it into nothingness. Next up in the initiative order, we have Lucas.
I am going to run and take a fireman's leap and try to come down at this creature with like a double overhand chop.
Go for it. You rush to the monster as fast as you can, and it turns around just at the very last second. You catch it, and it's like you ran right into a steel cord. Your shoulder catches against it. Take 3d6 points of SDC damage as you collide into the creature. I'm trying to figure out how to roll this. There we go. All right, take 16 points of SDC damage through your armor as you rush into the monster and bust into it and just come headlong into an immovable object. Next up is Tomas. Oh wait, Kenny, you're next.
All right. Following through with another axe swing. That one will actually connect with my +1.
All right, what are you swinging at?
Anything I can get my blade on. Like, this is just a
All right,
wild swing here at this point.
fair enough. Go ahead and make the roll for damage.
14.
All right, just taking down the note. All right, 14 points of damage. You bring your axe down. Bam! You crash into the side of the creature. It releases its tongue from you. Um, the tongue slides back into its mouth like a frog, and it turns and it looks back at you, Kenny. Malice in its eyes. Tomas, you're next. You're the last one on the sixth floor.
All right. Well, I take out my axe and I jump and attack whatever this fucking thing is.
All right, you leap down, make a wild strike, no bonus strike, no bonus parry, no bonus dodge. Just roll a blatant attack. 1d20.
Oh my god! It was a 19 and then it rolled to the 1. Unfucking believable.
Yeah, and I just rolled a +8. God dang it. Yeah, so you roll your, you make your attack, you come swinging down, boom, you crash a hole with your mega damage axe right through the standard damage floor, the structural damage floor. You crush through it, it just ruptures underneath you. The 4 people who are surviving humble down one floor.
Oh my
They
god.
all sustain.
Do I fall through the floor?
You fall through the floor as well.
Oh my god.
Everybody not wearing mega damage armor, 13 points of SDC damage. They hit the ground. Boom! Oh, a floor below you. The fire is rushing in. You're looking up, Tomas, and you see above you through the hole in the floor this massive creature. I mean, from your angle, it looks to be about 25 feet tall. It's just towering over your 2 allies. Granted, you're on the 4th floor now, Tomas,
I don't
and
think I
everybody
stopped on
else.
the 4th floor. I think I
Yeah, you
fell all
stopped
the
on the
way
4th.
through because it's
Burp.
SDC.
Yep, yeah, it sure is, and you destroyed the floor that you were just on. It doesn't carry through like that.
Okay. Fair enough.
And
I head to the stairs. Well, I
everybody else
stand up.
collapses down. Boom, 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 boom. There's 4 civilians that are struggling for life at this point.
Well,
All
if
injured, all hurt.
uh, I help them the best I can
All right, you
because this
will
is
help
my
them
fault.
as best you can. Next up is the creature, who takes this opportunity to launch itself as hard as it can directly um, at Lucas.
I forgot I was in mega
Am I able to like
damage.
roll with punch or anything?
I mean, D20 plus 11. Oh my God, what happened here? D20.
You divided yourself by 11, it looks like.
I sure did. Get your face. Yeah, yeah. You could definitely try to roll with impact
Okay.
if you can beat a 29.
Yeah, no. I'll just take that damage.
I kind of forgot I was in mega. I forgot I was in the power armor.
Yeah, it's not D6 times 106. All right, take 60. Take 62 points of damage to your power armor, Lucas, and also you're going to go ahead and take another 10% to your SDC. I need you to make a save or make a roll to save versus impact. or if you have a sense of balance check.
With all of that damage, I don't think Lucas McCoy is going to be making any rolls.
All right. Fair enough. I understand exactly what you're saying. So, the creature rushes forward. It busts into you. You're wearing your standard Nema armor, and your armor shatters, just head to toe. It's a completely useless lump. Go ahead and take. Let's see. That is 62. So take six. Take 7 points of SDC slash hit point damage. No, take 7 points of hit point damage.
Okay.
Your armor is wasted.
Yep. Gone.
You have no protection whatsoever from the flames or anything around you. It's totally shattered. You have lost one melee action. Um, so whatever you had, subtract that, right, for this round. Um, go ahead and give me a D100 roll, Lucas. All right. Probably nothing more than a shattered rib, but it's definitely something that's going to keep you down for a little while. Um, next up in the melee action is well, Lucas, you're down one action, so you're going to skip this one. So next up is Kenny.
All right.
Kenny, you see this creature headbutt Lucas, and Lucas smashes into one of the walls. I mean, he flies about 25 feet and just cracks into it. He's down.
Just do that.
Your buddy Tomas is one floor below you.
Yeah, I'm gonna
What are you
try
doing?
and just smack it in the back with this axe. Hopefully, it gets its attention.
Roll that damage. Roll that attack.
That's a hit.
That's a hit.
7.
You bring the axe down to bear, bam, and you crash into this thing's back. One of its six, one of its six, shoulder spikes rips off, and it turns to face you. It wheels around with whipcord quickness. So, Moth, you are one floor down. You're unaware of the things that are happening above you. What are you doing?
I am trying to help the people that I ruined their day, as best I can. Let's see, it would probably be paramedic to assess the damage that I caused.
Well, everybody is hurt. All right. That's one thing you need to know. Everybody is hurt, but everybody is still in jeopardy of this building burning
Oh,
them
absolutely.
alive.
Yeah. So let's try and get everyone to the stairs as fast as possible, and I help everyone that can't move to the stairs.
All right. Do you have any trust, intimidate, anything like that?
Oh, let's see. That would have been under
MA.
EB, MA, no,
EB?
nope. My two
All
high
right.
stats are PP and IQ.
Then make a fire check. One of your fire skills, whichever one would come into play here.
Fire assessment and response. There we go.
There you go. Perfect.
Yes.
All right, so you're able to get them to the stairs. You lead them down. They're down. You are now on the 3rd floor. You're 3 floors away from escaping this. Back to the top is the creature. Who has melee actions left?
How many did I do? 2 or 3?
Hmm.
3?
Yeah, I think we had 3 actions. This will be action 4.
And
That
yeah,
sounds
no,
right.
horror factor was yeah, I have 1 left because the horror factor was the last round.
All right.
All right.
So the creature swings wide with one of its. I mean, it's bringing both of those like giant chunks of megacrete to bear, right on you, Kenny. Both of them simultaneously.
Okay. Is that really a D20 plus 11 to hit?
Yes, it is.
God damn. All right. Well, I'm going to try and parry. Negative.
All right, you take 21 points of mega damage as both rebar encrusted chunks of megacrete smashed into your body.
Okay.
Next up is Lucas, which you're down this action, right?
Yep. Yep.
All right, next up
All
is
I can do is
Dev.
just look at Kenny and scream, Kenny.
Trying here.
All right, next up
Oh,
is
it's
Kenny.
more of like a wail of anguish.
I'm going to smack it. I hit.
Hit. It doesn't bother to try to parry or dodge or anything. It just accepts the damage coming its way.
That's 12.
Boom. You cut into it. You bring your axe to bear and smash into its ribcage. A gout of fire bursts out of it. Tomas, you're up. And you hear this inhuman shriek above you.
Oh, that'll cause more panic in the people I'm trying to help. So I will continue helping them. Do I have to make another roll for the assessment?
Of course you do.
Okay.
But this time, there's stakes involved. If you fail, someone is going to burn alive from the fire in the building because the fire is moving towards you.
No pressure. That is a failure.
Tell me, high or low? What do you prefer?
We'll go with low since that's a dream that I can never achieve.
It is. Your cousin survives. But one of the other people, the scientist in the group, is burned to crisp, reduced to ash. Everyone else, the other 3 people, still are surviving. They make their way to the stairwell and back to the top of the round. The creature reaches out and it attempts to grapple you. Me.
Okay. I'm going to parry. Does my +1 to strike? No, that's. Yeah. I'm not going to parry.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to parry that.
Yeah, so it grabs you and it lifts you above its head. Next up is Lucas. You have no mega damage armor left. You're literally a meat stock.
Yeah. Am I able to draw my rifle to bear from this crumpled sitting position against the wall where I'm basically burning to death?
Do you have hit points left?
I do.
Then yeah, you can do that.
Okay. I also have a little bit of SDC left, but that's probably going to be gone, within the next couple of seconds, just because of the intensity of the heat. So yeah, I'm gonna bring my NEMA 360 laser grenade rifle to bear, and I am gonna scream in my radio, "I'm sorry," and I'm gonna try to pump an explosive grenade into the demon.
What kind of grenade?
Let's see. I have explosive grenades, tear gas grenades, and smoke grenades. Probably an explosive grenade.
Do you have a radius on that explosive grenade?
12 foot.
All right, go for it.
Plus 2, plus 3, I think. Yes. A dirty 20.
Boom! You unleash with your explosive grenade. Roll damage. High explosive fragmentation, does it say?
It's. I'm looking to see what the damage does to with these grenades. Uh, 3d6.
All right, so the creature takes 9 points of mega damage. It's just busted all to pieces with this, like, these chunks of explosive. Um, Kenny, you go ahead. You take 9 points of damage to your power armor as well. The floor below you is just wrecked. Everything in a 12-foot radius is just fucking shredded, Lucas. You are still there. You're still sitting. Um, Kenny, you're still being grasped by this monstrosity. It is now your turn. You're falling down between the fifth and the fourth floor.
Yeah.
What do you do?
All right, I'm just riding this thing out. Slim pickings. I'm just gonna start swinging the axe.
All right, roll again for damage.
Yep. 9.
All right, you bring your axe down right into the back of the creature. You catch it right on its ass cheek. Tomas, what are you doing on the third floor?
If I can ride this thing out and everybody can escape, that's good for me.
I will attempt to help them down to the second floor.
Do it. Is that a success?
No, I rolled over by 4.
All right, so as you're getting down to the second floor, the flames are just getting higher and higher and higher. It's like the building doesn't want you to leave. Another person who was in the building, high or low?
We're gonna go low again.
Gonna go low again. So another person who was in the building, not your cousin, is engulfed in flames. You've got two more people that you can easily get out of here, hopefully. But this person who was a food preparation specialist at some point is engulfed in flames and brought low by the demonic fires around you. Now, Penny, everything is happening so quickly, and you feel yourself being launched back up to the fifth floor as the demon throws you. The last thing that Lucas sees before he rolls to dodge a natural freaking 20 is you coming flying at him at speed. Lucas,
Uh,
you got a 25. You have what happened is the floor collapsed From your explosion, the demon has thrown Penny bodily at you with
Yeah.
unerring accuracy.
Well, since I'm up against the wall, I'm gonna try to just dodge out of the way.
You got to get a natural 20.
Well, there's always a chance.
There is.
I think I have a +3 to dodge.
Lucas,
I
the
do not.
last thing that you see is Penny's armor coming at you as you are smeared against the wall, just obliterated. You are nothing more than ash when this building collapses. Your turn in the apocalypse, the great cataclysm, the things that befall mankind. Your turn is over.
It was a
Penny,
good death. It was a good death.
please stick around for the end.
Oh, I'm not
Penny,
gonna go anywhere.
your armor sustains an additional 11 points of damage. You're thrown into the flames. Boom! The last thing that you see is your friend Lucas. Is his body lifeless as you just crush whatever is left of him. Now it is your turn, Penny.
I'm gonna get back up and I'm rushing right at this demon. He killed my buddy. I'm gonna try and kill him or go down swinging.
All right, gain 1 attack for free.
Okay. Is this all at the
That
same
is going to
time?
be a hit. Yeah, 2 attacks right now because you've lost it. It's a pure berserk mode. Roll damage.
All right. How do I want to do this actually? Let's do it this way. 46 plus 4. 18.
All right. So you bring your axe to bear as hard as you can. Boom! You crush down on the creature's stomach. It opens up into this gore, this ichor, this plasma that just spills out. It freaks at you, and it's like it not only is it screaming in pain, but it's mocking your impotency, and it's in your ability to
Oh no.
to to, to damage it. Who'd we lose?
Copper pot.
No. Oh, I hate to kill people at the very beginning. I hope he comes back. I really hope he comes back because I got plans for him.
What, kill him? You mean at the end, right?
Oh yeah, at the very end, whatever. And so, boom, the plasma spray is everywhere. Tomas, what are you doing?
Getting them off the second floor.
Roll that dice,
That's a success.
somebody. Pick a person to save.
My cousin.
All right. You're able to evacuate your cousin down. You bust a hole in the ground. Boom. You get through. Your cousin gets out, and they look back at you. The building just begins to crumble and collapse everywhere. Um, here, there, structural columns just begin to release themselves, and the building begins to collapse in on itself from the top down. First floor, or sixth floor, or eighth floor, boom. Seventh floor, boom. Fifth floor, boom. Fourth floor, collapse. Third floor, Penny, where you and the monster are fighting, gone. Second floor. Out of here. Bow, it's gone. The first floor to nothing. Everything is gray and gone all around you. You look up just as the building finishes falling in on itself. Flames everywhere, consuming the world. And you look to the skies, you look to the heavens, and you see one single bright light in the sky. It's not the sun. It's not the moon. It's not a star. It's fading. It's fading. Fading. This is the apocalypse. This concludes Chaos Earth.
Boom.